everybody. My name is Ed. I'm in my armchair, and the smoking lamp is lit. And guess what I'm smoking today? My newest favorite pipe. Yay! This is not a commission, but a Herriot Pipe. Beauteous, Megamus, Maximus. Just got it in 4 or 5 days ago. Been smoking it every day. Been wanting to get a Harriet pipe for a while. And every time I would look on his website, he'd only have a couple whole pipes, and they're sold. And I knew he was making a bunch of pipes for Chicago pipe show that he's going to. So I figured, no, we'll wait until after that show's over and see what's going on. Maybe even have him commission one. Something that he's already done before. But he got caught up what he wanted to do. And he had a bunch of pipes put on his website. There was a couple of them that I really liked, exactly what I was looking for. And one of them, this one, was still available. So I got it. It's a little pipe, little bowl. Very neat. I like it. I say I like the bend and the heavier, and I do. This is growing on me. Yeah. I like it. And it talk about precision. It's pretty good. This guy knows his stuff. Herriot Pipes. You need to check him out. He's really good. I'm very pleased with just the mechanics of it all, if you will. And then, of course, the looks. Of course. So, a little while ago, I had a bound pipe. That was my favorite pipe that day. And one of the comments I got from a guy from Germany, new into the pipe community, Pipe Chap Matt. Pipe is in pipe, chap is in chap, C-H-A-P, Matt, M-A-T-T. And he made comments about me. And part of it was that he was actually going to be going to the Vaun factory in Germany. And of course, I let him know that I was very jealous of doing that. So he went. Great. And he sent me something. First, he sent me a lot of chocolates. Now, I was thinking, God, these chocolates are good. I'm going to spread them out to my fellow YTPC people. Then I was reading how chocolate can be bad for you. So you can thank me later, but I basically ate the chocolates myself. So you're welcome. I have saved your lives. I did that for you. That's the kind of guy I am. But the main thing in this something I love, something he got from the factory And if you know anything about me, just like that I have the keychain collection, collect stuff and everything. I love stuff of this nature. And let me show you what it is. From the Vaughan factory, cut out a piece of briar. Can you see that? Vaughan logo. And of course a bunch of German stuff, which I don't know, but that's okay. The main thing is this came from the Vaughan factory, and he sent it to me, or he got one for me. He has one for himself too. How cool is that? I truly love this kind of stuff. Just like I have something very similar from Stanwell. I like it. And now, I've hinted about it, mentioned it last week. A lot of people might be wondering, because I call the place where Doc and the captain, their room, as the slippery plank. So I got some pictures of the slippery plank. And so I'm just going to show the comparison. But to start, the slippery plank came from a couple things. One, of course, I love nautical stuff. And there was a lot of nautical stuff. I also always wanted to have a place that completely different from the place I was living. A complete getaway. You can sit back, relax, and be transported. In fact, originally it was actually going to be in Japanese room. But after I got out of the Navy, I started thinking about a seaport bar. And I came up with the slippery plank as the name. Slippery plank. When a drunken sailor is trying to get on a ship and he falls into the water, it must be because it's a slippery plank. And that's the truth. So when I bought a house, when I was in Fort Collins, Colorado, had a nice big L-shaped room in the basement. And that's when I got the odds and ends nautical stuff that I had, but slowly built it into all nautical stuff. And I had built a bar, and I had been a bartender before, and I've always been a decorator. So I built the Seaport Bar, and it was set up like a bar, not a man cave where you have some liquor. This was a bar. Had a well for the well drinks, then the back bar, place to mix your drinks and everything. And of course, I had stuff for mixing drinks. I'd been went to bartending school. And I set that up. Eventually, I ended up having a broken down cigarette machine down there, 3 neon signs, getting the full bar, of course, a poker table. I had that already, and many a poker game was played there. Dance floor, and then when I didn't have people over for dancing, I stretched a rope hammock in it, and I can just lay down in a hammock. I also had music for wave action besides, and then another setup for music. And it was quite nice. In fact, one time, and this didn't happen, a gentleman went to one of my parties and he loved the place, and he had a local television show where him and another lady just did things about, local events. And this was the end of their season, and he told me that next season him and her are going to come out to this place and do a little video of it because they loved it so much. Unfortunately, that show got canceled, so we never did that. But that was the Slippery Plank, a seaport bar. I had many, many parties there. It was great. Also, again, the atmosphere had a lot of lighting, but as a good friend of mine who had a nightclub said, if you want to have atmosphere, white light is a killer. You don't want white in any of the lighting. And with that, that's what I kind of did. That might also mean why some of the photos that you're going to see are not. I tried to get the atmosphere of the place. And then some of them the same thing, where I have a little bit more light just to take the photos. So that would be the first one. So let's go ahead and look at the old Slippery Plank, which would probably now been something 30, 35 years ago. My little Slippery Plank. Here we go. This was kind of set up for a dinner. Me, few friends, me. From the bar, looking at the other way, my brother Frank. Bar again. Oh, there's the captain. On the dance floor. Oh, there's me. The captain. Actually my best friend. A little bit more of the gang. Yeah. The captain. This was a dress as a pirate party, so everybody was costumed. This was actually a friend's picnic. Old geezer and the gang. Well, I hope you like that. And now, you've kind of seen this before. A couple of things that are new. The current Slippery Plank, which is seaport nautical stuff. Don't have the poker table anymore. This is basically a converted den. Don't have the dance floor. Don't really have the big parties. When you're my age, people come over. We go out to eat. We go out to have a beer. So, some pictures of the current Slippery Plank where Dr. Bo and the captain hang out. You won't see them. They're in this outside right now. They they heard that I have a cellar, and they're trying to find out how to get to it. They don't know that the cellar is referring to just cellar of tobacco, and it's right here. I don't have a cellar. I'm on the ground floor in a condominium unit. Anyway, the current Slippery Plank. This is us going in. Now we're inside. It's part of my Lighthouse Collection there. Nautical signs and stuff. There we go. There's my desk. Just working around. There's Doc in the captain's chair. A signal light. This is coming up on a new area for me. There we go, that whole wall. There we go. Yeah, more stuff. More stuff. And you may not like it or know it, but I have room for more. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Little reminiscing of the old days and the new stuff. But give you a little insight as to what the slippery plank is. So again, I hope you like this. And remember, if you didn't like this, you're not going to get to heaven. So may your smoking lamp always be lit. Take care out there.